Let's talk about choosing life. If you are somebody who is living with an active food obsession, or you're addicted to exercising and dieting, or you have an active eating disorder, if you're somebody who's trying to control the size and shape of your body through restricting, binging, purging, overexercising, or whatever other compensatory measure you might have, you're not really living as much as you're just getting by, and it probably sometimes feels like just barely so. And life can be so much more than that. I want to challenge you for a minute to think back to the last time you attended a special event or occasion. Maybe it was your high school prom or graduation, or your college graduation. Maybe it was a wedding, a vacation, or maybe it was just a night out with friends. How much of you was 100% in the moment, engaged in the conversation, riveted by what your friends were saying, completely aware and appreciative of your surroundings? Or how much of you was actually engaged in an internal dialogue with the critic that lives up in your head, worried about what you were putting in your mouth, or worried about how you were going to get out of eating without anyone noticing or without making anyone feel uncomfortable, or maybe how you were going to work it off later, or how else you were going to make up for it at a later time? Maybe be honest. How much? What percentage? I am going to tell you a little story. When I was in college and was graduating, I decided to give myself the gift of a trip to Germany to go see my family. Now, my eating disorder was active at the time. It was not at its worst by any means, and it, wasn't at its best either. I'm just putting that out there. I went over there for 2 weeks, and we got to go to Heidelberg. I got to see castles. I met my cousin who was 6 years old at the time, who I'd never met in person before. Got to play with her, which was really fun. We went to, you notice that I'm struggling to give you details of exactly what it was that I did. It's because I don't really remember. I was engaged with this battle with my own inner critic the entire time that I was there. So my time away was more engaged with worrying about, oh my God, we're going out to dinner. Is this restaurant going to have salad? What? They want to have ice cream? I hope they at least have frozen yogurt, because I wasn't going to let myself have ice cream back then. And am I going to be able to go for my run today? And what kind of activity level are we going to have? I want to make sure that I'm active, and trying to figure out how to convert kilograms to pounds. And you know what? That sucks. I can't tell you anything about the people that I met, and I know I met some amazing people and had some amazing conversations. That's not how life is supposed to be. You're supposed to be able to look back and have some really amazing, vivid memories of experiences that you are fully engaged in. I'm supposed to have that too, And it's kind of sad that those things get lost and compromised. So when I figured out that a big piece of the puzzle was choosing life and then really making the commitment to live it, it pretty much changed everything. Now, I'm not going to tell you that just making that choice and commitment made my recovery a breeze. It wasn't a breeze. It was still, there were still some pretty hard times, and there were still some difficult emotions that I had to figure out how to get through. And it wasn't all bad. I don't want to make it sound like it's this arduous process. I mean, recovery is hard work, and healing is hard work. But there are some amazing, beautiful moments too during that period of time that are phenomenal. And you're not always going to be 100% gung-ho about recovery. So, the trick is to minimize the amount of time that you spend in ambivalence. So what does it mean to choose life and then make the commitment to actually live it? Well, it means knowing that there's not one thing that's going to be a substitute for your addiction to dieting, exercise, or your eating disorder. I will tell you that using an authentic voice is life-changing, and then making room for healthy connections of life-affirming relationships that can and will fill your life when you do allow room. Those things can really support you in your health and healing and recovery process and keep it on an upward trajectory. I don't know that anybody's process is ever like linear. I mean, I think ideally it's kind of like, you're kind of going like this, but you want to minimize like this kind of thing if you can. And part of what that means is when you've chosen life and you've said, I've been surviving for a really long time. I want to see what it's like to be really engaged in life and really live it and give myself some experiences. That means when urges to use behaviors come up, because they will, they're not going to just go away just because you've chosen life and you've decided to commit to really living it. But it does mean that when those urges to use behaviors come up, because you've made a commitment to really live, that you don't act out on the behaviors anymore. Instead, you're going to plug in some coping strategies and recovery tools. If you don't have any, check out the cool tools section. Maybe you want to try making a crisis survival kit, or try some urge surfing, or use a coping bank, or go on over to the energy healing section. Do a meditation. Maybe you'll do a chakra meditation or a making peace with your body meditation. Maybe you'll just call a friend, or get in the car, go for a ride. Leave your credit card and keys at home. Not your keys. Leave your credit card and your money at home. And you know why I'm saying that. It's making those kinds of efforts to prevent yourself from acting out in those behaviors, and learning how to soothe yourself through emotions. You know, the idea about feelings is that they inform us about things that are important to us, but they're not always facts, and they don't last forever. And it is very possible to soothe yourself through them. So that said, I really hope that you make the choice, that you choose life, and that you really commit to living it and put in the work, because it is so worth it. Not a day goes by that I'm not thankful for my recovery, and I've been recovered for a long time at this point. And I really want to assure you that full recovery is both possible and attainable. Anybody can recover. I spent 20 years listening to people tell me I would never get better, and I did. I am very better and fully recovered, and you can be too. It takes some hard work and it takes some effort, but I know you can do it. And I can't wait to hear about the magic and miracles that unfold in your life when you choose life and commit to living it.